Have you ever wondered, how can I spark my students' interest and motivate them to learn? Or what can I do to ensure that what students learn today, they remember tomorrow and months and even years into the future? Or have you wondered, as a school team, what do we need to do to really lift all learners and close achievement gaps and ensure greater equity for all of our students? Hi, my name is Bryan Goodwin. I am a former classroom educator, and I currently serve as the president and CEO of McREL International. Here at McREL, we've spent years studying and helping educators like yourselves apply powerful brain-based teaching strategies that have been proven to lift all learners, and along the way, make learning more engaging and joyful for students and teachers alike. In our years of working with educators like yourselves from all across the globe, we have seen from their experiences and most recently from analysis of more than 100 scientific studies that meet the most rigorous standards for evidence that the most powerful way to lift all learners and to support their learning is to build a strong, solid foundation of best first instruction in every classroom. So what is best first instruction? Well, it's really the combination of two things. The first is the science of learning, which is understanding how students' brains naturally absorb information and convert it into long-term memory. The second is the science of teaching, which is proven strategies from rigorous studies that have shown what it takes to support and accelerate student learning. We created this chart to help you visualize the connection between the science of learning and the science of teaching. It identifies a 6-phase model of learning, which helps educators tap into their students' natural propensity to absorb and retain new information. And it pairs it with 14 evidence-based teaching strategies to help educators identify when to intentionally use these different strategies in their classrooms. So along the left-hand side, you'll see the 6 phases of learning. You'll see that it basically maps out what do our brains have to do in order to get to deep learning. The first thing is we have to become interested in what we're learning. Students need to become curious about what they're learning, and you'll see an associated teaching strategy with that, which we call cognitive interest cues. The second phase, so once we become interested, the second phase of learning is we have to commit to learning, because as it turns out, all learning requires tremendous mental effort. So the best way to help students commit to learning is by helping them set their own personal goals for learning, which is another one of those evidence-based teaching strategies. Now, once we're committed to learning, we have to help students focus on their new learning. And you'll see some strategies that are associated with that, which go right back to what we know from brain science about we are more likely to learn something and to process new information if we can see it visually and verbally at the same time, or if we can see it modeled for us, or if we can convert complex ideas into a single word, a single vocabulary term. So once we focus on the new learning, now something else needs to happen in our students' brains, which is they need to consolidate that learning. They need to make sense of it. We also know that our brains tend to time out after about 5 to 10 minutes of learning. So we want to give students those opportunities to pause and process their learning, often in groups with one another. And you'll see 3 strategies associated with helping students make sense of their learning. Now, once we've made sense of learning, in order to retain new information into our long-term memory, there's really only one way to do that, which is to repeat it. So you'll see the 5th phase of learning is called practice and reflect. It's when students are able to have multiple opportunities, usually spread out over days and even weeks, to re-encounter that new information. But learning doesn't stop there. In fact, probably the most important phase of learning is the 6th phase of learning, which we call extend and apply. And that's when we give students opportunities to take their new learning and use it to solve a complex problem, or to discover more and go deeper into learning through a guided investigation, or to create their own content, their own ideas through cognitive writing, express themselves that way. So you can pause the video now, take a closer look at the chart, or visit us at mcrel.org to download a free copy of our new white paper called Unleashing Best First Instruction, which includes the chart. We've also recently updated our classroom instruction that works strategies, drawing upon the findings from the latest research and evidence that meets What Works Clearinghouse criteria for rigor. And you can check out our recent findings in the new classroom instruction that works, which we have recently co-published with ASCD, just came out in November of 2022. Thank you so much for your time. If you found these strategies helpful, let us know by leaving a comment in the comments box below. Thank you again.